Here we are again. Welcome to the Thursday live stream, everyone. We are going to begin in a nice Shavasana position. So relax and lay down when you're ready. Make sure you have all the padding you need so you feel really good laying on the floor. And begin with a very deep breath. Good. And take another deep breath. And continue deep breath as we continue to practice. Adapt the practice accordingly to maintain the breath. And if you falter with the breath, just work on resting or modifying so you can bring your focus back to the main priority, that nice rhythmic breathing. We're going to bring the inner feet together, then bend the right leg and take tree pose. Sometimes it's really nice to breathe into the hands, or you can extend the arms overhead for the exalted reclined tree. If your knee or hip is sore on the right side, you can adapt how far the leg goes down with some form of cushioning. 5 breaths here, just relaxing. And let's go ahead and transition to knees to chest. Giving yourself a nice little hug. And breathing. And feet to the ground, extend the right leg, opening up the left knee, and taking tree on the left side. Take the left knee up, bring the knee into the chest, both knees to chest. Open the arms, take the legs to the left. And let's do the other side. Glide side to side, Nice steady rhythm here. And when you're complete with both sides equally, pause and knees to chest. Extend the left leg, hug the right knee in a little deeper, and roll out the ankle. Do both directions. And then switch sides. Rolling out the ankle. Both directions. And then both knees to chest. Feet stay together. Extend the legs all the way out and bend the knees in. If your sacrum or low back hurts, try a towel or your hands under the hips. You can also keep the feet kind of high, like extending them out and up. Otherwise, all the way to the ground will be good to build the muscles. And we'll do two more. Nice, fluid movement and steady breath. Knees to chest. And holding the back of the legs. Rock on up. And switch to hands and knees. Roll out the back. Take a few more rounds, feeling really fluid in each part of the spine, loosening up more and more as we gradually move. Next is a nice downward dog. You can leave the knees bent as needed, otherwise work on lifting the hips high and press strong forward and down through the hands. Walk or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Come into a half lifting position and then take a full fold. Pass through a straight back lift. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, arms relax. Next is chair pose with the feet parallel. Bend the knees a little bit, lift the arms a little bit. If it feels good, you can go moderate or really deep, your choice. Stay with the breath. Exhale, plank pose, top of a push-up. Three rounds of breath. Keep a lifting out of the wrists and shoulders. A lot of times you end up riding the wrists and shoulders being too far. Try not to do that. If you have sensitive wrists, back off with the shoulders. Firm the legs. Try and use the core more than the arms, or at least as much. And then knees down. Lower all the way. And we'll take rounds of easy Cobra. You just lift a little bit and release. Again. Repeat. And then segue into the Sphinx Stretch. If you feel tight in your chest, consider going wider than normal alignment. So normal alignment's elbows and shoulders in line. You can go wider, you can have the arms a little more up. Sometimes just making the hands wider can help you to feel that nice broad sensation in the chest, so the heart can lift and open, and you breathe deep into that space of the heart and lungs. And come on down and place the hands alongside the chest. Use the core and lift. Take a plank position, again, top of a push-up. Downward dog position, hips high. And next is child's pose. You just relax, let yourself melt into the child. Transition to sitting or kneeling. And then take a big step up with the right foot. Make sure that the knee and the ankle are in line. Lift the right arm for a twist, or hold the low back. Come on down, and then take warrior one. Hold the thigh if you need, otherwise arms extend. And then switch to warrior one, facing the other direction. Come back to the first direction. Make sure the footing is reasonably placed. And then take top of the push-up, plank position. Deep breath. Child's pose. Just relax, softening into it. Come to sitting or kneeling. And then take a big step up with the left foot. Don't bend the knee too far, right above the ankle is exactly what we want. Work on lifting the chest, lengthening the spine, and then with that length, do a nice twist. The arm up or hold the low back. Come on down. Back heel down. Rise up. Warrior one. And then switch to warrior one, facing back. And then switch to warrior one, facing forward. Deep breath. Next is plank, push-up position. Put the right knee down and take the left arm up for a balanced side plank. And then take normal plank, and then the left knee down, and the right arm up for a nice side plank. You come on down, normal plank, and knees down, elbows down, switching to the elbow plank. You walk the legs way back and drop the hips and have a flat back. Deep breath. The legs are strong and active here. And then segueing into the Sphinx. And then from the Sphinx, extend the arms overhead, lay down. Roll to the side so you can see the screen. And then lifting the top leg with the foot flexed. Several rounds. And switching sides. Keep the feet in line with each other and notice how that helps you to target the muscles most effectively. Both feet are flexed. Keep the lifting leg facing sideways, so don't turn the toes up. You might be able to reach higher, but it doesn't access the muscles as well. And when you're ready, let's come back to face down. Chin to chest, roll up to Cobra. Lift the chest and then the head. Lead with the chest, come on down. And again, chin to chest, roll up to Cobra. Lead with the chest, come on down. One more time, roll up to Cobra. See how that feels. Leave the elbows a little bit bent and try and keep the shoulders fairly low and relaxed. Come on down. Use the core and lift and take a nice downward dog. From downward dog, we'll go ahead and bend the knees and turn to the side, walking or jumping the feet apart. Knees bend a little bit, come on up, and then opening up the right foot, turning the back foot in. Take triangle pose. You don't have to reach super low, but if you can really lengthen and keep the chest open and the shoulders in line with the hips, eventually you're holding closer to the foot. The top arm is very long. If the shoulder is really stiff, you can just hold the hip. That'd be perfectly fine. Deep breath. Use the core and press through the feet. Come on up. Turn the right foot a little bit angled in. Open that left foot. Level the hips. And spread the toes. Triangle pose. Deep breath. Good. Use the core. Come on up. And center the feet. Bring the feet in just a tad. Open the toes. If you're less flexible, just open a little bit. If you have very open hips, then you can open out a lot more. Bend the knees. Take horse stance. Either keep the hands holding the legs, or you can have the arms up. Deep breath. And then glide up and relax the arms. Slowly bring the feet closer to each other until you can just lightly step in, top of the mat, feet parallel. One more time. Utkatasana, chair pose. Downward dog. Child's pose. Breathe deep and enjoy rest. Remember, rest is good for you. And come on up to sitting or kneeling. And take a big step up with the right foot. Long step, knee above ankle. Warrior one. Back leg nice and strong. You might feel a good stretch in the calf. That's cool. Knee facing forward, maybe slightly open. Warrior one, holding now. Downward dog. Yeah. Child's pose. Come on up to sitting or kneeling. Big step with the left foot. Maybe take 2 steps back, heel down. Warrior one. And hold. Exhale. Downward dog. Yeah. Child's pose. Let's come back to hands and knees. And again, turn to the side. Walk or lightly hop the feet apart. Draw into the core. Stand on up. Open up the right foot. And next we're going to do warrior two. And have a nice steady gaze. For warrior two, we'll switch to triangle. And then take triangle with the arm behind the back, opening the chest and shoulders. Good, come on up. Switch to having the right toes turned in and open up that left side. Take warrior two. The tendency is to lean into it, but just really level. Notice how leveling that hip gives you a great stretch. More steady in the pose, consistent with the breath. Round. Take triangle pose. Spread the toes. And breathe deep. Top arm behind the back. Stretching open in the chest and shoulders. You look up traditionally, but if your neck is sore, neutral or looking down looks great. rise on up. Switch to another round of the horse stance or Devi Asana. We open the toes, bend the knees, use the hands to help them widen or bring the arms up. And then windmill, arms down to the right and up to the left. Then come back to neutral, then arms down to the left, up to the right, and come back to neutral. It's a nice little flow for the arms. People who have a flair for dramatics particularly enjoy it. Good, and then release from the pose and stand tall. Slowly bring the feet closer and eventually stand together. Stretching the right thigh, hug the knees in with the option of lifting the left arm. Stay like this or bow down a third of the way, maybe halfway, or touch the ground and the thigh is lifting, but you're keeping the heel against the glute, so you stretch very deep. A little bend in that standing leg, come up. It's actually quite a challenge. Don't worry if you didn't get it just right. We'll do it again next week. Let's do the other side. Start, the knee kind of tends to flare, but hug it in as best you can. Hug the abs in. Hug the heel to the glute. Tuck the glutes down. Option to lift the arm. I either stay like this or come like a third, halfway. So the thigh is lifting. Eventually the thigh is parallel to the ground. And you touch the ground. And then put a big bend in that standing leg and come on up. And then we're ready to take a nice grounding squat. We'll take the squat, breathe steady, and we'll just ground here for a while. If your knees really hurt, sit on some blocks or a stack of books. You can sit and do a seated hip opener instead. Otherwise, stay in the squat. And we'll just chill here for a bit. Go ahead and release. Switch back to a nice hands and knees. Extend the right leg. Lift just as high as the hip. Lift the left arm. And then switch. Extend the left leg. Lift the right arm. And we'll release to face down. Inhale, locust, lift legs and chest. And if you like, arms back. Shoulders roll back to feel the chest open a little more. And then come down. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, release. Left arm under the head, stretch the right thigh. Half frog. Very good. Let's switch sides. And release. And roll onto the side. Hold the head and have the elbow directly out from the shoulder. Lift the knee, hold the knee. Either stay like that or hold the foot and extend the leg part way. You can leave the knee bent or fully. If you feel like you're going to fall back, you can bend the bottom leg, but the full challenge is to have both legs lengthened for a little bit of stretching and balance. Deep breath. Slow exhale. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. Hold the head, have the elbow coming directly out from the shoulder. And stretching deep, breathing deep. And when you're complete, come on down. Tuck your chin, roll up to Cobra. And release. We're going to sustain Cobra next. So try your hands a little higher and wider. Roll up to Cobra. And sustain. Come on down. Use the core and lift. And push into the legs. Downward dog. Now let's take child with the knees really wide. Let the hips relax. Fold the arms overhead, or maybe it will feel good to stretch them really far forward, or something in between. Just breathe. And come on up. Adjust to having the legs out in front. Draw the sitting bones back. Lift the chest and lift the arms. Dandasana. active through the legs and the feet, sitting very tall. Sometimes it helps to sit on a folded towel or blanket. Arms relaxed. Let's go ahead and scoot on up. And take a tabletop. Hands pretty far back, legs bent. And inhale, lift. And come on down. Next, we'll roll onto the back. Have the feet to the ground parallel. And inhale to bridge. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale, bridge. Let's do a few rounds, lifting and lowering. Just finding the level that works for you. You don't have to lift too high. You do want to have very powerful breath. Good. Let's go ahead and lift to bridge and hold. Consider using the block if you have one, or holding under the hips and lifting and opening up in the chest, nice and deep. Good. Come on down. Yeah. Bring the feet together, open the knees, butterfly. And knees lift. Hold the back of the legs, roll on up. And next pose is swan pose. Have the left leg back, right knee forward, slightly out to the side, and the foot is just in front of the hip. For students who are very, very flexible, you can bring it up, but that's not necessary at all unless you don't feel a good stretch with this basic form. Most people feel quite the stretch just in the simple form, and you can stretch the back and the chest if it feels good by bringing the arms back. It creates more of like a cobra with the body. But it's intense on the back muscles, so don't do it if you feel like it's too much compression. Breathe and adapt the pose accordingly. And we'll go ahead and take a nice forward bend, let the body rest, and let the mind and emotions soften. Come on up. And switch sides. Swan stretch. And if you like, bring the hands further back. And then we'll melt into the forward bend, relaxing the neck and shoulders as well as the hips. And come on up. Take a plank position. And then put the knees down gently. Let's switch to having a straddle position. The legs come out from under, widen the legs a little bit, or as you become more seasoned and more flexible, eventually it's a deeper opening out. And we'll lift the arms, sit tall, and then place the fingertips forward. You just prop up on the fingertips at first, and then crawl the hands a little more forward. And over time, you can reach the palms down, the elbows down perhaps, and relax the neck. Still reaching forward through the chest a bit. Not that you shouldn't round the spine at all, you just don't want to do it excessively. Work on being fairly lengthened. And roll the thighs back. When you're ready, release the forward bend. And let's go ahead and bring the legs together and then sit cross-legged. You might want to sit on a blanket if you need. We're going to arrange the arms on the legs, sit up tall, and just close the eyes for about a minute, just taking a little bit of quiet time, focusing on the breath, about 5 rounds. Come back to the body, tuck the chin, and gently roll back and forth. And switch which leg is in front. And let's do that little quiet time meditation just one more time, just about a minute of sitting still, a little time with the eyes closed. 5 breaths. Come back to the body. Let's set up to release onto the back. Roll back and down when you're ready. And then take a nice happy baby. Try and lengthen the neck and work the hips down. Knees widen. And you can move a little bit or just be still. Feet to the ground. Next pose is hip side stretch, where you lengthen the left leg and roll up onto the side of the left hip, keeping the right shoulder down. Left hand on the right thigh, right shoulder down. Switch sides. And when you're complete, you take a nice Shavasana. Closing the eyes, relaxing, letting go, taking time just to be. Let's go ahead and deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Take knees to chest. And come on up to a comfortable seat. We're going to do a clearing breath and 3 ohms. Breathe in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And inhaling for Om. Namaste. All right. Wonderful. Very good, everyone. We will have Vinyasa class on Saturday. This summer, I'm leading a tour of my hometown on bicycle. So June the 25th through the 27th, there's a lead tour with refreshments and daily yoga for cyclists classes. So check that out. You can go to my website, gabrielbenjaminyoga.com, and look for more details or send me a message if you'd like more information. These classes are all for donation. So click the link below, send a donation as you see fit. And if you're not able to provide monetarily, then share with your friends, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff that helps. Liking on the Facebook page helps as well. So thank you again. This is always a very nice treat for me to practice virtually with you online. I will remind you, as always, to stay hydrated. Wine and coffee doesn't count, although it can be enjoyed in moderation, provided you have plenty of H2O in between or before. So, leading by example, ciao for now. Take good care of yourself and those around you. I will see you Saturday for live stream Vinyasa.